Hello, everybody. How are you? Hope you're having a good day. So, I have been busy, but I want to sit down and do a react to all the Twitter peeps today. I've been keeping an eye on Chantal through different react channels, through, say, Orange Cat. Been just keeping an eye to see what she's been doing, and it's the same old, same old. Anybody who's been watching Chantal, you know what I'm talking about. If she's not being boring, she's eating, and she's eating a lot. She's having a lot of bee moments, and she's getting rather ridiculous with those bee moments. She's drinking straight out of the picture. She's eating multiple bags of chips. She's just acting outrageously. Just it's a lot of triggering stuff, especially if you are someone that you've dealt with food problems like I have. It can be triggering. So between the triggering, there's the boredom, and the boredom, there's a triggering. So I've been trying to stay away from some of her content, but I want to sit down and react to Twitter peeps because some interesting stuff has happened. Let's see. Let's start with her Kick channel. What has happened on her Kick channel? Well, due to her content, Foodie has been age restricted. Some of her streams have been age restricted and marked as mature. Now, I'm not familiar with how Kick does things, but I would imagine that if you are marked as mature or age restricted, that means less income from ads, maybe not getting ad money at all. So I'm not exactly sure what it is that got her restricted on Kick. They tend to be very lenient over there, but she must have done something. I'm sure a lot of people have reported her, but it looks like Kick is giving her the same eyeball that YouTube did. So yeah, that happened. So for anybody out there that you've been following Foodie, just a word, her channel is being looked at, and some of her content has been age restricted. She has made threats to people. She's eating a lot of the food. Her monetization is going to be coming up on YouTube, but in my opinion, I don't think she's going to be going for the monetization, mainly because, and this is just my thought, she's so used to doing what she wants to do on YouTube. How can she possibly come back to YouTube with all the rules? Anybody's been watching her on Kick, you can clearly see the kind of content that she wants to do. She wants to have a channel where she can eat, attract the feedies, make the feedies happy, maybe attract off-camera clients. Speaking of off-camera clients, it seems like a very interesting profile has been found on a feedie site, and it kind of looks like Chantal, although nobody's going to know for sure unless somebody goes in and makes direct contact. But there's been an interesting profile that's been found on Phoebe, which is a feedie site. But we're going to get into all of that. There's a whole lot of peeps to go over, so I'll just save the rest for the peeps so you guys know what time it is. It is time for the Twitter peeps. All right, I've been spending some time gathering up all the peeps so you guys can keep up with all the stuff. So, for those of you that are on Twitter that you would like to follow me on Twitter, there's my handle, Wild Girl Sarah. And for those of you not on Twitter, that's why I do the peeps, so you guys can keep up with all the stuff without actually having to go on the Bird app. So, first tweet is from Raised Dactylion saying, LOL, Fondue Spiteful Beach says, Foodie Beauty, Chantal, she just doxed her own mod, Teardrop. So she was showing stuff on her phone during her latest live stream, and it looks like she doxed her own mod. I wonder how her mod feels about that. Maybe she doesn't care. But that's what she did. She doxed Teardrop. On to something positive from Blue Ocean, saying white rockfish, Atlantic Ocean. Look at these fish. These poor babies, they look so nervous. Like that's this expression like, what? What's happening? What's over there? Who said so? What? What's going on? They're so cute. They kind of look like owls in the face with those big eyes. They almost look like AI, but it's a real fish, and it's called a white rockfish. Moving on to Girl Gawker, saying he's not even trying to hide the grift, shaking my head. So who are they talking about? Salah, or someone posing as Salah. Fondue Spiteful Beach Says Foodie Beauty, thanks for confirming she sends you money and she's familiar with the process. So here's the comment from Salah in her chat on Kick. And it looks like he's got mod status too. If you want to send something for Sasa, you can send it for Chantal's PayPal and she will transfer it to me directly. Interestingly enough, and I would like to give full credit to No Madness Life, she posted it on her community tab. You cannot send money from PayPal to Syria, but where you can send it is to Kuwait. So, are you back in Kuwait, Salah? Are you no longer in Syria? I don't know, sir. But you're telling people to skip sending the money to her family, send it directly to you through Chantal's PayPal. You're telling people that you're still getting money from Chantal and you have a way to get money from Chantal. So thanks for the confirmation. We've been known that she's sending you money, but thanks for confirming it for all of us, sir. Customer Service 101 says, I agree. It's just too much. What is it with her and Chantal Sarot and her blank of children and animals? Disgusting. Foodie Beauty literally smelling her clothes after in-heat cat humps her. Massaging her is the forefront step of, you see that word, the B word. I don't know what's going on with her lately. You guys heard how I felt the last time I went live. I know that she's catering to PDF files. She's been doing the adult baby content. We all remember how she brought Sasa on camera. We saw the really nasty comment from somebody in her chat telling Chantal to lift up the little one's shirt because they were gratifying themselves. So not only is she catering to the feedies, I think that she's catering to straight up PDF files and maybe people who are into animals in a very unhealthy way. So she's allowing things to happen. She's allowing things to be seen to get them to contact her. And for what purpose, I don't know. Maybe to do content for them of some sort or to get money from them for some reason. But it is pretty doggone foul. You know, the exploitation of little ones and the exploitation of animals in a very gross way. Ripped Pantyhose says, my God, girl, get your ish under control. That diabetic foot does not look good. So here's some shots of Foodie. Another thing, can we talk about this? This shot right here, this moment of her laying on her bed. Y'all got to know who this is appealing to. This is straight up a feedie shot. And wasn't she supposed to be modest? This doesn't look very modest to me. This looks like a very suggestive pose of sorts that would appeal to a certain kind of audience. You know, like, girl, you don't have any underwear on. I could tell and look by looking at you, you do not have underwear on behind those pants. No. You were showing off your body for a reason. Yes, you were. Showing it all off. And this is a picture of Chantal's foot. And let's keep in mind that she does have filters. So that skin is heavily filtered. I remember her being at the Canadian Villa, showing her legs and her feet unfiltered. And she had very dark patches all over her feet and her legs, which pointed in the direction of diabetic neuropathy. And as you can see, there is a dark circle on her foot. Now, I can't say for sure what it is. Only a doctor could. I mean, to me, that looks like a blister. But then again, where would she get a blister? She doesn't walk. She really doesn't walk anywhere. So that couldn't be a blister. She doesn't do enough walking or activity for one. Others have speculated it's a diabetic ulcer, which is quite serious because that can get nasty real quick. But keep in mind, when you're looking at this picture, she does have filters on her camera. So we're not even seeing the skin as it is. You got the skin smoothing filter. You got another filter on top to hide some of the coloring. So her foot could actually look worse than what it is. But not good, Foodie. Not good. Nana Spike T says always has his hand in her pocket. Yeah, for those who still think Foodie isn't sending him money, obviously there seems to be a way. Well, what's the old saying? Where there's a will, there is a way. And his will is to get in her way and get her money. So he was in her chat saying, if you want to send something for Sasa, send it to Chantal, and then she'll transfer it to me. Of course. Of course she will. Of course. I wouldn't trust anybody beyond Sasa's family to get the money for Sasa. You send money to Salah, he'll keep it for himself. Lolafy says, Foodie Beauty refuses to get a PCP, but Chat GPT is more qualified anyway. At Kick, uncontrolled type 2 diabetic relying on AI instead of going to a doctor because she blanks meds and runs out faster than she should. She hops from ER to ER when she needs a fix. SO2, are you serious for the snipe? So Chantal has been taken very much to Chat GPT. She's going there to ask for advice about her diet. And interestingly enough, recently she actually argued with Chat GPT because it wasn't telling her everything she wanted to hear. But let's listen to the clip courtesy of Lolafied and Are You Serious?
By day, what we should do, what's close to
sorry.
together.
Totally follow
because
it.
Like we don't like planning. Like it's hard to plan when you know, it's like, okay, what's close by kind of thing.
Hard to plan when you don't have a brain.
And it tells you, like, it based on my health conditions, it tells me, hi Chili Chi.
Oh my God.
If I do their plan, Chat GPT plan, the 15 minutes of walking a day, the meal plan, it's getting ready for the trip, they call it.
Do I think there's actually going to be a trip? No. I don't think there's going to be a trip. I think that maybe Salah is telling her what she wants to hear to keep her calm. But I don't think there's going to be a trip. I don't know how there's going to be a trip. We've already gone over it, y'all. I sat there and outlined to you guys that just to go on a trip for a month with Foodie, minimum, she's going to need about $6,000, $7,000. She's going to need $2,000 for the rent. She's got to pay rent while she's away. Then we got to figure in $4,000 for her food because wherever she goes, she's got to have her fast food. So already we're up to $6,000 by itself. Add another $1,200 for her plane tickets. So now we're up to $7,200. $600 for his plane ticket. So now we're up to almost $8,000. And I'm sure that if Salah goes on the trip with Foodie, he's not going to do it for free. So let's bump it up to another $2,000. So it's about $10,000 to be gone for a month. I don't think she has that kind of money. And I don't think he does either. And if he does have it, he's not going to spend it on her. I think it makes her feel good to talk about this trip. Chantal has made an interesting comment lately. She said that in order to get things done, she has to trick her brain. So maybe this is one case of that. That in order for her to get things done, she's got to motivate herself with a lie that she's going on a trip. You know, the lie makes her happy. She can live in her world of delusion, just trying to manifest this trip, think about this trip, imagine this trip is going to happen. But financially speaking, I don't see how it could be accomplished. Not only that, but her health is really, really, really bad. There's obviously stuff going on with her lungs. There's stuff going on with her organs. She can barely move. I think she's got low oxygen problems. It would be dangerous for her to get on a plane, and reckless and stupid. She's not been to a doctor yet for the doctor to say it's safe for you to fly or not fly. But here she is talking about this trip. So you go ahead and live in your Delulu lane fully. You go ahead.
Yeah, Salah and I. When are you going away? I can't really say, but in the nearish future. Yeah, so it's like...
and I just want to add this in really quick. If this trip doesn't happen with Salah, which I don't think it will, I think this is her kind of deluding herself. Would Chantal be crazy enough to say, I'm going to go on this trip anyway? Would she be crazy enough that she would get on a plane and fly all the way to the Middle East and go as far as Damascus, thinking that the closer she got to Salah, the more she could pressure him and poke at him to go and live back in the Middle East? Yeah, she is that crazy. She does not want to be in Canada. She doesn't want anything to do with adulting. She doesn't want to take care of herself. She wants someone to take care of her, and there's nobody stepping up to do it. So since no one is willingly step up to do it, she's going to try to force someone to do it. She wants Salah on this trip so she can get him alone, away from his family, apply the pressure, apply the blackmail, and maybe she'll get her way that she can poke at him enough to where he'll let her back in the house. But here's the thing. The last I heard, his father lives in the house with him. And I believe that dad is there strictly for the purpose of keeping Foodie out. That as long as he is there, Foodie cannot come there. And that's exactly why dad is staying. So even if Chantal got crazy enough to fly all the way to Damascus, trying to force her way back in, it's not going to work. But she would be desperate enough that she would actually pull that. So if Salah doesn't want to go on a trip with her, which I feel she's going to try to do something before Valentine's Day, she's going to try to accomplish it before V-Day and before her birthday. She's not going to wait a year. She said that she wants to take this trip in a year, but yet she's acting like she wants it a lot sooner. She's not going to get her way. Absolutely will not.
It'll say, okay, based on your weight and stamina, this activity has more walking, this activity has less walking.
Can I just say something? Anybody out there that has any health problems, please go to a doctor if you can. Get proper testing, get those blood tests, get results in hand. Don't rely on something like Chat GPT. Chantal is relying on Chat GPT because if she were in front of an actual doctor, they're going to tell her a lot of things she doesn't want to hear. They're going to tell her things like, you need to lose weight. You need to cut back on the carbs. You need to cut back on the sugars and the salts. You need to eat healthy. You need a whole bunch of tests. You need blood tests. We need to see what your organs are looking like these days because she hasn't gone in years. I mean, she doesn't know if just light exercise might be dangerous for her. She has no idea. But Chat GPT is a way to get advice without getting the right advice. And that's what she needs. She needs therapy. She needs treatment. She needs medical care. She needs to go to inpatient, but she's not going to do those things. This is just another way to avoid accountability and responsibility. So if anybody out there has a health issue, please take the right steps. Go see a doctor, get those tests done so you know what's going on. Don't be Foodie.
How to, and things like that, and
stuff like that.
It estimates, I could probably increase my stamina a good deal if I stay on the track.
Right.
So that's good.
You know what, Chantal? Let me just call you on your BS. You're a food addict. And I have seen the streams you've been doing lately. Girl, stop. Stop kidding yourself. You are way overeating. I saw this stream from this morning. You are so bloated. You look very unwell. You look very swollen, which looks like you're consuming way too much sodium, way too much. It's bloating you out bad. But going on a treadmill for 15 minutes and burning 84 calories, and then turning around and eating 3 spoonfuls of fatso peanut butter and consuming like 1,000 calories. I mean, the math ain't mathin'. You're not really going to lose if you're putting yourself in a position where you're constantly gaining. You're going to bed every night with a very extended full belly full of food, and you're not burning those calories off. What do you think is going to happen? It's going to turn into fat. And I'm short. You're short. You know that when you're short, you don't have much real estate to work with. Okay, there's only so many places that your body can put that extra fat, and you are already 400 plus pounds overweight. You're running out of real estate, girl. The property can't expand any more than what it already has. So if you're over there having B moments, you're overeating, you won't stop eating, how in the world are you going to make progress if you are not doing everything to get better? You're just fooling yourself into thinking you're getting better. You're gaslighting yourself and you're gaslighting your audience, but especially yourself. You're thinking, I'm doing good, but you're not, though. You're really not. Could you lose a lot of weight if you just cut back on the calories and ate healthy? Oh, heck yeah. You could probably drop 50 pounds if you just decreased your calories and ate healthy, but you're not doing that. You're eating all that processed stuff, all the frozen stuff. You're ordering takeout like crazy. And don't think I don't know about you doing those Foodie requests after dark, girl. I know you're doing them. So if you are in an environment where you're eating on your own and you got people backing you up on your eating and they're funding your eating and they're giving you money for your eating, they're surrounding you and saying, keep going. How are you ever going to get healthy if you've got people prompting you to be unhealthy? If you want to make changes, you got to make lifestyle changes all the way around. The places you hang out, the people you talk to, the content that you do on different platforms, it's all got to change. It can't just be one thing. One thing ain't going to change nothing. Hectic Llama says, great comment. Big Back, Big Snack says, my favorite thing you do is use Chat GPT as your doctor and then respectfully turn down their advice with a no thank you. So she's arguing with Chat GPT, y'all. She won't listen to regular doctors and she won't listen to Chat GPT. Well, that's her prerogative. Now, this is something from Iris Serafina saying, good thing you left your faucets dripping so the pipes won't freeze. Well, this is a thing that if you live in a colder state or when it starts to get cold, it's a thing that just to make sure that your pipes don't burst, you leave your faucet dripping, but it looks like things got way too cold. This poor gentleman, he did the thing, and there's water frozen not only on the sink but the floor. Eesh. Well, I hope the pipes didn't explode. I give you an A for effort, sir, but looks like you got a mess to clean up over here. I wish you will. Now, this is cute from Massimo. Baby chameleons helping their owner get rid of fruit flies. So this gentleman has some baby chameleons, and they're doing their job. They're getting rid of the bugs. Too bad Chantal didn't have baby chameleons in the house back at the Canadian villa. They would have had a fine time with all the fruit flies. But here you go, baby chameleons, and they're getting to work. They're getting rid of the fruit flies, and they're getting a free meal. How about that? Unapologetic POS says, I have a feeling that Foodie Beauty and her broken, lazy Syrian husband are not going anywhere. The cash cow Kickstream has been labeled as mature. Yeah, look at this, y'all. And oop. So cleaning and cooking got labeled as 18 plus. I wonder what that means on Kick. Do they do the same thing as YouTube and they cut your revenue, or they just don't get any at all? I wonder what she did. I'm not exactly sure about that, but she did something. Bad Seed said, Foodie Beauty, this is actually a true statement I didn't even think about. Syria has embargo and sanctions. They do have a limited supply. Football says, you and your scammer husband are disgusting. Taking medication from poor Syrians who don't have access like you do, just so you can spend more money eating. You're disgusting. You both will pay. Bet. Point taken. So medications, first aid supplies, I'm sure are very hard to get in Syria. And here is Foodie trying to take advantage of the fact that medications are cheaper over in Syria. Didn't she talk recently about she wanted Salah to bring her a year's supply of medications from Syria to her wherever it is they're going. I don't think he can though. How can you possibly bring that much medication to another country without eyebrows being raised? That would look kind of funny. They're going to have questions if they go through customs. Enigma 2025 says modest Miriam just changing her clothes for the day. With her hijab on and all, she knows exactly what she's doing and make sure she gets it on live as she looks directly into her camera. I have got a theory about that, chat. Lean in and listen. I think that there's a reason why she's got that second phone. I think there's a reason why she's got that laptop in her bedroom. I think there's a reason why she's got a ring light in her bedroom. I think that there are feedies who get in her live chats and they request that she change her clothes several times. That's what I think. I think she's got feedies that when they make requests like change your clothes, change your outfit for a request, she will do so to make them happy. So if they say change your clothes, she changes her clothes. I mean, why else would Chantal change her clothes? She's taking requests while she's live. They want to see her in different outfits. And she's looking into the camera. So obviously she's concerned about somebody watching her, letting them know that she's changing her clothes. Missy Russell says a quick Google said Kick's moderation team flags content for violating guidelines against explicit nudity, sexual acts, or involving young people, leading to age restriction or removal. So what did Foodie Beauty do? Did she do something disturbing to that cat again, or it got flagged? I don't know. It could be anything. I know she's been pushing the envelope over on Kick. They're much more lenient than YouTube. So in order to get flagged on Kick, it must have been something pretty severe. Now, here's something heartwarming from Financial Dystopia. This person found the oldest local restaurant in Japan, and it's literally the most wholesome experience anyone can ever have. So this wonderful couple have had this restaurant for 48 years. They're the most darling thing. I would go there every day. They seem like the sweetest people. I would go visit them every day and give them business. So wonderful. Fat Kid Cool says Foodie Beauty is a filthy, classless freaking slop. There we go. Yeah, she did that, y'all. Look, drinking straight out of the pitcher. Didn't she once complain about she doesn't like drinking the last bit of water out of a water bottle because of backwash? And yet you're going to drink out of an entire pitcher. Make it make sense. You get a problem with backwash, so let's drink out of an entire pitcher. That had to be a request. Somebody had to request that. She's over there drinking gravy. She's drinking out of the water pitcher, eating massive amounts of food. Yeah, we know who you're catering to, Chantal. Enigma 2025 says she tells her hijab to F off, something that she wears for God. She says to F off. Credit Loop Whoopin in YouTube. Yep, credit to her. Let's watch.
We're just going to wear it like this today. Oh, it's like sticky. I don't like it. I don't like the material. F off. Why is it like this? It's fucking annoying. Anyways.
You know what, Chantal? I got a question. Why are you even wearing it at all? I mean, the way you've been behaving, why not just take off the hijab and abaya? Clearly, you're not a Muslim person. You don't have the Muslim faith in your heart. Why even wear it at all? And girl, clean up your bedroom. What is this? Why is your bedroom like this? Look. You have a washer and a dryer. Why is your bed such a freaking mess? Take all of that and put it in the washer, girl. Come on now. Ain't no reason for that mess. Okay, lean in, everybody. This is interesting. The Tone Knob says, OMG, it's definitely 100% Foodie Beauty. It's even her real age. She matches her to the T. Well, that explains so much. Why she has money but no income. Why she is gaining weight while pretending to lose it. I wonder if Scammer Boy knows about this. She has cheated on every guy. Lolafied says Foodie Beauty's tripod ring light next to her bed has me wondering. So I did a quick search of Foodie sites, and Phoebe came up first as a popular spot. Does this profile sound a little too familiar? What month is Chantal returned to Canada? September, October 5th, or 5 months ago? Here's the profile. So, Chantal, are you on Phoebe? Kind of looks like you are. And Phoebe is a Foodie site. I mean, I know you've been doing stuff through Cameo. You've been using Cameo for that purpose. You're trying to be, fly under the radar doing stuff on Cameo. And you've been giving out your Instagram for other people and your PayPal. So you're doing the stuff, Chantal. You're doing stuff offline. And you know what? I'm just going to say it. If you want to do the Foodie stuff, I would prefer that you do the Foodie stuff offline than on social media. I don't like you doing the request on live on public platforms. That's not the right place for that stuff. I know that you're on Kick and Twitch, and you were using YouTube as sort of a portal to get in front of people and advertise what you do and who you are. And then you got demonetized on YouTube, so you moved your act over on Kick and Twitch. Because you always got to have new, fresh faces to give you money. You may have a client list, but you need fresh faces to give you more money. So maybe you are on different Foodie sites doing your thing. You want to do your thing? I prefer you do it off of YouTube or off of Kick or off of Twitch versus on, because you're exposing people to things they really don't need to see and really shouldn't be looking at. So y'all want to know where Foodie has been making her money? Well, clearly she's on the Foodie sites. That's where all that money's been coming from. Fat Cow says Foodie Beauty got age restricted for the same reason she lost monetization on YouTube, for self-blank in the form of disordered eating behaviors. Do they have a restriction for that over there? I don't know. But maybe they are taking issue with it. Dwight's hazmat suit says, the way I am cackling, Foodie Beauty just can't help herself. No need for anyone to do their worst. Cutie does it for them. Right. We don't have to do anything, girl world. She is hurting herself faster and better than any of us ever could. Like, she's on another platform making the same mistakes because she's doing the same content, and it's probably going to lead to the same result. If she keeps pushing the envelope too much, she might find herself with no Kick channel. Florida Salt and Sass says ring light that's not used but changes positions, foods mentioned but not eaten for the social media platform camera, no concerns about money, still spending like a 13-year-old with disposable babysitting money. I truly think she's doing Foodie content on the side. I think that's the bulk of her income. I think she uses Kick and Twitch and YouTube as sort of like her hug box. She needs attention. That's just chump change. I got a theory, y'all. Let's see what you think about it. I think the bulk of her money is made from the Foodies. And I think the money that she makes perhaps on Kick or Twitch goes for her sugar babies, meaning Natter and Salah. They get whatever she makes on social media platforms, but the bulk of her money is made through Foodie sites and through Foodie content. The money she makes on Twitch and Kick, it's for her boy toys, to keep them happy, to keep them from spilling all of her secrets. But she makes a lot of money offline doing other stuff. Enigma 2025 says Chantal sat there begging chat to buy a sub in her stream, saying it's better than Netflix. $4 per month, she says. Would you rather eat or starve, basically, and give her your last $4? Yeah, that happened. Let's watch.
It's $4 a month. It's $4 a month. Come on. If you want to bees, how important is beesing to you?
You know what, Chantal? I wouldn't give you $1. I wouldn't give you 50 cents. It's not worth it. There's so many talented, motivated, creative creators on Kick, on Twitch, on YouTube that care about their content, that care about their audience. They show up ready to work, ready to talk to people, ready to entertain them. That's where people should be spending their Twitch Prime or buying a sub, not someone like you. You want to get on camera and do absolutely nothing. It gives you great joy to get on camera and do nothing. You just lay on your couch or you lay in your bed. And if you're not doing that, you're eating. Today's stream was horrible. It was just mind-numbingly boring. You weren't being interesting. You weren't trying to be interesting. You were just rambling. You expect to be paid for just rambling nonsense. And if you're not doing that, you're screeching at the top of your lungs and making your neighbors crazy. Why should people give up their hard-earned money to you when you're coming on camera and you're not even trying to do anything worth paying for? I wouldn't. It'd be a waste of money. And I'm going to say something else. And this may sound different. You know what I think, guys? I think that I don't think the girls, meaning Amber and Foodie, I don't think they're getting it. I think after the vid happened, the pandemic, a lot of people's attitudes changed as far as overeating. A lot of people are still watching their pennies, their nickels. They're still struggling to pay their rent and pay their bills and whatnot. A lot of people are more aware about how important it is to stay healthy and not get sick. I think before the pandemic, watching the two of them online gorge on food was no big deal. But then the attitude shifted after the vid happened. And a lot of people got sick. And a lot of people lost their lives to the vid. And money got tight. A lot of people are very food insecure. They're very afraid about getting their bills paid, their rent paid. And to see two women willingly destroying their health, eating tons of fast food, it hits different now. It really does hit different because anybody knows fast food isn't cheap anymore. It really isn't. A lot of people have stopped going to fast food restaurants because the cost of going to, say, Burger King or McDonald's is basically on par with going to a sit-down restaurant. It used to be cheap, but it's not anymore. So people watching Amber and Foodie going to town on food is like you're spending money on expensive junk that really isn't healthy. And it's just gross and it's sad. But I don't think that Foodie and Amber really get that. That the world's attitude about gorging oneself for no reason and making yourself sick for no reason, it's the attitude shift happened and they just weren't paying attention.
I thought they were subs. I thought Larry was one. You can buy a sub sandwich or you can bees.
I'd rather buy the sub sandwich. Because, I've been watching Foodie. Clearly, she's got enough to eat. She's not starving. She's over there going to the movies and ordering massive amounts of popcorn, ordering takeout multiple times a day. She's got enough to eat. She's got a roof over her head. She's fine. I'd rather save the money for a sub sandwich than give it to someone like her. Because if you give her money, what's it going for? Her addictions. You're supporting an addict in their addictions. You are enabling them and you're fueling that addiction to become worse. So I'm sorry. If I know someone who's an addict, I will support them in healthy ways. I will get them advice. I will get them emotional support. But what I won't do is give them money to support the addiction. I will not have a hand in them becoming worse and more sick and possibly passing away. No, thank you. No.
Okay. Well, can we see the Popeyes got a $2.99? Are you saying that I'm like the Popeyes is worth more than a Beezership?
I say to everybody, save your money. Don't buy a sub to Foodie. Maybe if enough people said, no, we're not going to give you a sub until you start working, really working. You come on camera, you're ready to work. You are here to entertain us. We are not here to entertain you. When you come on camera with the attitude of, I am here to entertain you versus you are here to talk to me and I'm just going to watch the clock and see when 5 hours elapses and I can get enough ads. If she can show up for more than just the ad money and she starts going to work, maybe she might deserve a sub. You should only sub up to somebody that's actually caring about themselves and their content, not somebody just there for free, easy money. All right, so Lori says Foodie Beauty is live on Twitch, but I honestly don't give a crap because she's trying to watch Night of the Living Dead on stream. Less than 100 people watching. So this happened on the night, I feel, when she got age restricted. She had a stream and then she went on Twitch and she started watching movies, which is against terms of service because that's copyright, right? So she was watching a movie she shouldn't have been watching. And I'm sure Twitch is going to have a problem with that because it's copyrighted material. And this also happened. Enigma 2025, her stream got bombarded by trolls all at once for 3 minutes. So let's watch.
Anyway, let them go. Whatever.
Okay, I'm cutting it off here because she's over there stuffing her face. But as you can see, the trolls were just going hard at her for 3 minutes straight. I don't know where they came from. I don't know what prompted this, but the trolls were going in on Foodie and she just didn't care. Debbie's World says, what the F? While she's talking on the couch, it's so cold in her apartment that you can see the condensation from her mouth. It has to be freezing in there. She's seriously ill, definitely needs to be institutionalized. Plus, how is that good for the poor cat? It's not. I don't know how cold it was in her house that day when the condensation happened with her breath, but I do know one thing about animals, particularly cats. Cats cannot take temperatures below 35 degrees. So that poor baby in that freezing house, because Chantal likes it just that cold. Chantal, low temperatures are not good for animals. They can get sick just like people. So turn up the heat. Lolafied says she has a tripod and a ring light facing her bed. The huge grocery hauls make sense. She's stuffing her face for feeties to make up for losing monetization on YouTube. It seems the fetish community is lucrative for Foodie. Absolutely. Again, that's where the bulk of her money is made. It's certainly not on Kick. It can't be on Twitch. Even if she is making money on Kick, she's not making that much. And whatever it is she's making, she's eating her way through her checks from Kick. So where's the money coming from? She goes out every day. She's ordering massive amounts of takeout. Where is this money coming from? It has to be from another source. Enigma 2025 says she changed the story again on why she came back to Canada. Did she forget that she went live crying, saying that her life is at risk, that it's them, it's him? Let's watch her change the narrative again.
What are we scamming? Hey, Emerald. Really, Gal Charlotte? What the hell? I haven't asked for any money in like forever.
Maybe because you can't. Maybe the reason why you're not asking for money is because you're on Kick and you can't ask for money on Kick.
But, you know.
Or maybe you're just getting the clue that the Beezers are all tapped out. They gave you so much money and you ran through every grift you could think of. And you can't think of any particular reason you can ask for money and make it make sense. You can't ask for money and say, I got to go back to Canada. You're in Canada. You can't say, well, I need money for the apartment. According to you, you paid your rent, right? Right. So what would you need money for? You really can't come up with a reason.
You're farming bitching from viewers. Birds and the bees. Yes, they're obsessed with my trip. Like, what's the big deal?
You know what, Foodie? If you didn't want people to talk about your trip, you could have kept that to yourself. If you were going on a trip with Salah or planning a trip with Salah, you could have kept that information to yourself. Nobody would have known. You could have kept it a secret and then just popped up somewhere new, maybe a month or two from now and said, hi, I'm in Thailand, blah, blah, blah. But you wanted people to know. Also, it gives you a topic of conversation for your streams. I'm going on this trip. I'm going on this trip. I'm going on this trip. Do I think you're going? No. It would cost too much money. Besides, why would Salah sign up to go anywhere with you for a month, knowing how miserable you're going to be and how miserable he's going to be? Why would he sign on to basically be held hostage in a hotel room? It doesn't make sense, especially if you're in a medical state where anything could happen. You really shouldn't be traveling anywhere. You should be going to a doctor, to a hospital, and staying there for a while. It'd be dangerous for you to travel, but it gives you something to talk about. So we're talking about it, but we wouldn't be able to talk about it unless you talked about it first.
I don't know if people like think that I owe them like not to ever talk to Salah again because they helped me get back to Canada. My thing was that I'm coming back to Canada. I'm staying here. I'm not moving anywhere else.
But don't you think she wants to? She wants to. She doesn't want to be in that apartment. She doesn't want to do adulting. She wants someone to wait on her hand and foot. And I got a theory, and I'm going to tell you guys what my theory is. I think she got that apartment. She wanted that apartment for two reasons. One, because it was close to food. It was close to her addiction. There's a Walmart within walking distance. There's a food court within walking distance. It got her in close proximity to her main addiction, which is food. Second reason, maybe she thought that by coming back to Canada and getting a really, really nice apartment, that would appeal to Natter. Maybe she thought that they could give it another go. He could come stay with her. And I'm pretty certain that if it had worked out with Natter, Salah wouldn't even be a topic of conversation. So she set things up to get herself a nice apartment, was hoping that her and Natter would spend more time together. They're not. So that kind of backfired. So now that that's backfired, she wants out of the lease. She wants to go back to the Middle East where she doesn't have to pay rent. She's got Salah to look after her. And this whole trip idea is a last-ditch effort to get him to go somewhere with her. He's away from family, and she can apply the pressure and apply the blackmail for him to take her back to the Middle East so that she doesn't have to worry about the apartment. She doesn't have to worry about the cat or the back taxes that she owes. She's basically trying to find a way of escape to get out of the lease. She does not want to pay it. She does not want to commit to being there. She wants to run away from her problems yet again that she created herself. And she's counting on this trip as a means to escape. She wants to make her great escape.
You know? Yeah, no, I'm serious. Like, what's the scam? Like, you have to, I don't know.
Like, Chantal, you begged your Beezers for $10,000 to get you back to Canada. You made all kinds of promises about the things you were going to do if they helped you, and they did help you. You painted this picture of you were in danger. So they helped get you back to Canada. But they don't have much more to give. They can't keep bailing you out of situations you put yourself in. You're relying on them entirely too much. And I know adulting sucks, but we all got to do it. Nobody likes to pay rent. Nobody. We'd all wish that our landlords looked at us and said, you don't have to pay your rent this month, but nobody gets that kind of break. So as much as you want to be a child again, as much as you don't want to be an adult, you're 40 something years old, just accept the fact that you're an adult and move on, okay? Nothing But Love says your man cheats on you, mine don't. So here's an interesting post that Foodie did. Look at this. Men disappoint, I don't. Wow. Boy, that feels like a slap at somebody. That men disappoint and I don't. Ah, but that's where you're wrong, Foodie. You do disappoint. You make promises to people and you don't fulfill your promises, and you do lie. And by lying, you do disappoint people. So that advertisement in itself is a lie. But men disappoint, I don't. You're slapping at those who are men as if all men are disappointing, and they're not. But this feels like a bit of shade being thrown at somebody. Really does. It feels like shade being thrown at Salah or someone. Now, Foodie, I know you watch these videos. Pay attention to this. You like to throw shade at older people. Look at this absolutely stunning woman. Look at her. Look. This woman is 94 years old, but has the body of a 60-year-old. She holds a Guinness World Record for the longest modeling career in history. And she did it with no strict diets or expensive biohacking protocols. Look at her. 94 years old. Look at this silver queen. Look. She is beautiful. Look at this queen. Look at her. Amazing. I applaud you, madam. If I were in the audience, I've been standing up and clapping for you. You are a queen, madam. I salute you. 94 years old. I dare you, Foodie, to call this one a crypt keeper. I dare you to her face. She would laugh at you. This amazing silver queen is silver fox. Oh, madam, you are class personified. I adore you. And speaking of non-queens, Enigma 2025 said, did she just say 10K of edibles? How is her heart still beating? Let's watch.
Think about this. I've beat cocaine, 10,000 milligrams of edibles.
Now, people are saying, how is that possible? 10K of edibles. Well, they do have the Mike Tyson edibles. Those are 10,000 milligrams. And I don't know what Foodie was taking back in the day, but her tolerance went up to ridiculous levels. She was taking the wheelchair edibles back in the day, and the strongest dosage then was 1,000 milligrams, and she would take multiple of those. But then when she came back to Canada, newer products had been invented, like there was one edible that was like 5,000, and then she built up to the 10,000 Mike Tyson edibles. So yeah, she was taking those and she was zombified. Sure was. Cowboy Dog says, guys, please don't forget that the longer Salah's long con goes on, the more devastating and enraging it's going to be for Chantal. That is true. The longer he draws this out, the more devastating it's going to be, the more of a meltdown she's going to have. So let's all just be patient. Let's be patient. It's coming. Boho Chic says, yeah, Salah has never touched that. No, I don't think he did. And I think this pose is very suggestive. I think it's for her Foodie clients. She's supposed to be modest. This does not look modest to me. What would Salah say? Her posing like this. Bad Seed says, Foodie Beauty, this idiot is giving false information about glucose readings. Liars saying your reading has to be at 20 mm's to be considered dangerous. She's going to hurt herself or someone else. Dangerous blood sugar readings generally fall into two categories: extremely high, hyperglycemia, or extremely low, hypoglycemia. Readings above 13.3, 16.7 are high and require immediate attention, while levels above 33 constitute a medical emergency. Readings below 3.9 are considered low and dangerous. And one of Foodie's readings recently was 25. I heard that she had a 25 reading. So keep jacking it up, Foodie. You're doing great, I guess. Enigma 2025 says, what was that? Did she just say it's fun? Let's watch.
It's fun to drive around because, it just is.
She's talking about the Foodie Scooty wobbles, that it's fun to drive it around. In my opinion, I think that plays into her Foodie content. The immobilizers, they love stuff like that. I think she does it for them. I think she's catering to them by riding wobbles around.
That's it. And it's fun.
So basically, she doesn't need the scooter. She can walk just fine. She walked from her house into the elevator, walked down to the gym. She was on the treadmill for 15 minutes. She doesn't need that scooter. She just likes being on the scooter to get attention from other people, to get help from other people. She likes to play at I'm helpless. She likes the attention that she receives. Also, it makes some of her immobilizer feedies happy.
Fun to drive around because,
Yeah, she wants attention. She wants people to feel sorry for, and it's disgusting. Portraying yourself as you needing help when you really don't need help. Empress says, Foodie Beauty, quote, I can't eat a lot of carbs, guys, while loading up on bagels, carrot muffins, barbecue chips, sour cream chips, bread, pretzels, Rice Krispies, basically the entire grain section, plus emotional support snacks. And this is why I've not been doing a lot of reacts to Chantal. Because not only is she mind-numbingly boring, she's over there like eating like nobody's business. And I don't want to see it. Between the triggering content and the boredom, I just like, nope. No, thank you. Enigma 2025 says, who are you to tell her she doesn't need that mobility scooter? It's not a scam, she says, if the money goes to what it's intended for. But that's just it. It never does go where she says, in case in point, Sasa. Let's watch.
Okay. And even if I did ask for money, people don't have to give it. That's not a scam. If I say, if you would like to help out, here, donate to PayPal or whatever, that's not a scam. It's a scam.
It is a scam if you really don't need help. It's one thing if you're in an emergency situation. You're in a situation of extreme duress. Like say you need money for something medical and you desperately need it. You can't wait. Like something as serious is going on. Then it might be acceptable to ask for help like that. But there is no situation like that going on with you, Chantal. You just want the money just to want it, just to get it from people. You really don't need money for anything. You've got a roof over your head. You've got more than enough food to eat, to the point where you're gaining more and more weight. You're getting more and more unhealthy. You really don't need anything. And we've all seen what you spend the money on, just stuff that don't matter. and you really don't need. So you really shouldn't be asking for PayPal money if you don't need anything. You just want it, just to overspend it and spend it stupidly.
If I'm asked, like, it's only a scam if, like, I'm asking for money for something specific and don't use it for that, like, or whatever. It depends on the situation, but just asking for money, how is that a scam?
Didn't you ask for money to get the cat fixed? Has the cat been fixed yet? No. You let her stay in heat. And you've even gone on record as saying that you're not going to get the cat fixed because you're afraid that if you get the cat fixed, she will not be as affectionate to you. You're afraid that her getting fixed will change how affectionate she is with you. And I think that's very manipulative and very evil, that you're purposely keeping your cat in heat just to get more affection from the cat. That's just foul. But you've got money to help you get BG fixed. She's not been fixed yet, but we're hearing all kinds of excuses why she's not fixed, even though you clearly had the money to get her fixed.
Scam. If you're a content creator, every content creator asks for money at one point.
Where? When? Okay, moving on. This is disturbing, but y'all need to know about it. So apologies if this disturbs you or upsets you. Enigma 2025 says something wrong with this one who asked such a question, then sings a song made to teach children to know if someone is touching them inappropriately. So this happened during one of her recent streams. Let's watch.
Like new or noonie. Gain is made by Tide. Oh. Pink Downy Softer. Booga Bagarish. Booga Bagarish. I don't know why. Booga. What did your parents call your privates, like, to teach you about them? Like, wash your booga. Or like new or noonie or whatever. For some reason I called it a booga. Booga Bagarish. I have no idea why. That's so weird. Wallet and pocket. A Toto. I hate all those nicknames. A wallet for boys, pocketbook for girls. They used vagina.
Can I ask a question? Why are we talking about this on Kick again? What prompted this conversation? Like talking about what did your parents call your private parts when you're young? Like she's doing that a lot lately. A lot of sexual references with a cat. Just it's
I don't know, Kelly. Maybe for now. We're just still working things out. We say vagina. I called it my china. What? Oh, because it sounds like vagina. That just unlocks a memory. Hoo-ha. Yeah, I don't like the word vagina, like, at all. No.
Chantal, what is it with you and the sexual references these days? Like, where is your mind? Is something on your mind? Are you catering to certain people in your audience? Is this what they want to hear? Are you catering to PDF files? It kind of sounds like you are. Talking about things in childhood and private parts. It kind of sounds like you are really poking at the PDF files in your chat to get them aroused or something.
Square. No, square. These are my private parts, and nobody should touch them. Nobody should squeeze them. I'm gonna tell my teacher. Did you ever hear that song?
And she thinks that's funny. A song about people teaching their little ones how to distinguish inappropriate touching. Okay. Enigma 2025 says she thinks it's funny laughing at a song a teacher sang to children so they can learn to protect themselves from PDF files. She laughs at that. She asks them their childhood nicknames for their private parts. Like just creepy, weird, creepy, weird. Okay. Unapologetic POS says, what do we have here? A cash cow with opinions? Let's listen.
We all have weird shaped butts, I guess. Well, some people have nice butts, but a butt's a butt. Who cares? If a guy is just going to love you for the shape of your ass, it's probably a shallow relationship. Just saying. If a man is going to love you just for your looks.
Well, Chantal, you've been involved with men that they didn't love you for you. They loved you for your money. So wouldn't that be considered a shallow relationship? On the other hand, though, when you choose men for your life, you don't look for many parts of a man. If they look hot, they qualify. A hot guy with a heartbeat. So wouldn't that also mean that you're shallow because you look for looks? Just saying. Just saying. Enigma 2025 says it's hard for Salah to get visa passports, but according to Chat GPT, here's where he can go. All right. Where can he go? So visa on arrival, VOA, Africa, Burundi, Cape Verde, Guinea, Madagascar, Rwanda. He can go to Asia, Oceania. For electronic visa, ETA, Africa, Asia, South America. So he can go to some of these countries if he wants to. I don't think he's going to want to do it. And here's something that will warm your heart from Massimo. Did you know that in Romania, trucks loaded with beehives are rented out to flower growers? These massive rigs become mobile bee hotels, buzzing with thousands of bees that pollinate fields of flowers and crops. So, hey, it makes the flowers happy. The bees are happy. So they just bring the bees out and let the bees go to work. How about that? Bet you didn't know that bees hotels were a thing. They are. All right. Rachel Langley says, let me see if the math is mathing. When Salah was in Kuwait, his businesses couldn't survive a week without him, but he has started a new business and go on extended vacations. Maybe his new business is blowing smoke up Big Back's butt. Yeah, the math ain't mathin'. He's a busy guy. He's got 2 or 3 businesses, right? But he can take a month-long vacation with no problems? Sure. Kind of going to be hard for him to collect money doing that. And this happened also. Chantal went down to the gym in her building, and she was giving mad attitude to the people that were already there, and they weren't even paying attention to her. Ashley says, so do I think it's rude for someone to loudly talk on the phone in the gym? But Chantal could have muted until his call was over. Funny how Chantal is rude and inconsiderate all day, every day, but she can't handle it when it happens to her. Lola Fight says, look how Foodie Beauty treats others' residences when she lives. The guy was at the gym before her, and she's acting like he's a problem for being on a call. How about having this person roll in filming herself, fake it through a gym sesh for views? Yeah, so she's treating the whole gym like her recording studio, and it's a public gym for the building's residents. But she had a nasty look on her face, and all she was there to do was pretend to walk on that treadmill and get some views. So rude, Foodie. That gym is for everybody, not just you. Aw. Yog says, lay down next to your dog and see their reactions. So look at the beautiful dogs. Look at these puppers. Like, I'll just lay down with you. Aw. Hubby's like, you coming over? You gonna curl up with me? Every single one of the dogs said, I'll cuddle up with you. I'll be your pillow. Aw. Aw. That's so sweet. It's nap time. That's the sweetest thing. And if y'all want to know why I'm not reacting to Foodie, look at this post from Unapologetic POS, a diabetes-friendly grocery haul. Look at all the stuff that she bought. Cheez-Its, boxes of Cheez-Its, macaroni and cheese, blocks of cheese, drinking the salad dressing, drinking gravy. She's drinking a lot of things. That must be a thing with one of her feedies. Loretta H says, Foodie Beauty, is this vacation the beginning of a brand new 3-year contract with your business partner, fake husband? How sad it is that the only thing this woman looks forward to is a trip to see a man who uses her for money. It's her entire existence and the only reason for the health arc. Well, it's not really a health arc. She's not really getting healthy, but it's a pretend health arc. But let's watch.
Yeah, ready, set, please? Never returned, yeah. I'm not sad at all. I wasn't feeling good earlier. I'm not sad whatsoever. I'm just like not feeling the best today, I guess. You know? Yeah. It will. Annoyed with her playing with the fan, with the snow. I'm trying not to fucking binge eat or having snacks. And it's miserable as fuck. So I guess that's what's wrong. And I don't feel good either.
So she basically just admitted there she's still got a problem with food. Although she's claimed many times she got over her problem. Clearly, she's not over her problem. But I knew that. I know by watching her, she's not over her problem.
Nothing to do with salon.
She's in no position to heal herself, give herself help, although she's gaslighting herself, telling herself, I can fix this. No, you can't. Not without help, you can't.
We had a very, very good video chat today. And that's it. MashaAllah, things are better and better. I'll just think of, if I want to eat something bad, hey, Serenity. Yeah, lack of sleep. Blah, blah, blah. I'll be just sitting here and all of a sudden one noise, I hate everything. I know, right? Yeah.
You know what, Foodie? I can just see you getting on an airplane. You've gained more weight since you've been back in Canada. Girl, you can't get on an airplane for 13 hours and buy an entire row of seats and seal on those seats. I just want you to think about that. You're going to have to sit your big butt up in a seat, in a couple of seats for 13 hours. And every time you travel, it gets harder and it gets more dangerous because you've got a history of blood clots. You shouldn't be flying in an airplane with a history of blood clots in your lungs, and especially if you've not seen a doctor to see what those look like or on medication for them. But you've gotten so used to sealing on your couch. How are you going to deal with a plane ride for 13 hours and you're bigger than you ever were?
It's okay.
Let's see it happen, though. I don't think it's going to happen, though. Here's an eye-opening picture. If y'all want to see it, Jamie Cantanella says Foodie Beauty thinks that in 1 month, she's going to lose a ton of weight to go on a trip with Salah when she can't walk 10 feet without being out of breath. Let's not forget she begged everyone for money to get away from him. She's bigger now than she was in Syria. So here's some before pictures. This was Chantal in Syria. That was 5 months ago. Here's Foodie now. Before, after. And you think you're ready to travel, Chantal? You really think so? Well, I guess we'll find out. All right. Enigma 2025 says, it's a process Salah has to go through before going to Belize if that's what they're going. So what are the restrictions here? The standard process embassy visa clearance. If you are applying with only a Syrian passport, you cannot get a visa on arrival. You must apply for a paper visa at a Belizean embassy or consulate before you travel. Clearance requirement. Because Syria is on the restricted list, your application is sent to the Department of Immigration in Belize for security clearance. This can take significantly longer than a standard visa, often 30 business days or more. Requirements. You will need a valid passport, 6 months plus, a flight, I can't pronounce that word, proof of sufficient funds, 75 USD per day, and often a letter of financial support or an invitation from a sponsor in Belize. The shortcut, visa exemptions. You can bypass the Belizean visa requirement entirely if you hold certain documents from other countries. You are exempt from a Belize visa for stays up to 30 days if you have a valid multi-entry visa, a valid multi-entry visa or permanent residency from the United States, a valid multi-entry visa or permanent residency from Canada. Well, I don't think he has any of that, so he's screwed. He's screwed. He's absolutely screwed. T says, I'm 100% convinced Foodie Beauty is doing feedy content. No bed sheets most of the time and a tripod in her bedroom, and her blood sugar is out of whack for someone who just went to bed. Yep, I agree with that too. I do agree with that. And here's another reason why I say that she's not gotten over her food habit. Fat Kid Cool said this is Foodie Beauty's rage pouting because she can't inhale a Whopper with cheese on camera while pretending she's committed to a diet she never planned to follow. $20 says she's door dashing Burger King tonight. Her diet's dead and her dignity checked out years ago. Yep, she had herself a little hissy fit because she couldn't have a burger on camera. And she did confess to have a bee moment. Let's see what else we got here. Now, this is funny. Now, all of us in Girl World, we're used to watching toxic cows. May I introduce you to content with non-toxic cows, an actual cow? Here is this gentleman. He does content with an actual cow. He brings the cow into the kitchen. He's trying to make some food, and it's wonderful, fun chaos. And the account is called Elias Films. I don't know if this is on TikTok, but as you can see, there's this controlled chaos going on here. He's trying to make some food, and the cow is just like, give me all this food. And what do you mean you got milk? That belongs to me. How dare you make a recipe with milk? You got that from me, bud. You better give that back. I love it. We're used to watching toxic cows, Girl World, but here's a creator using an actual cow. And it's just wonderful, controlled, fun chaos in the kitchen. I support this kind of content. Now, that's what the internet was made for. Watching a cow help someone make a recipe. It's fantastic. All right. Ron says, Foodie Beauty's bee moment yesterday consisted of fried chicken, large containers of mac and cheese and potatoes, 2 full-size candy bars, full-size 4-cheese pizza, and she admitted to also ordering Thai Express noodles after live, woke up to A1C of 16.2, and she feels ill today. Yep. That's why she needs help. All right. Now, y'all saw this on my community post because I'm including it here. Debbie's World says, Neo Ptero pulled this card. I recognized that fringe on the bottom and found the video from last week where she was dancing in an outfit with fringe on the bottom, identical fringe. And this is courtesy of Debbie's World. So look, sometimes in tarot, you just get it absolutely accurate. That is so accurate. That is scary accurate. And this is from the Thailand trip that Chantal took with Salah. Y'all remember this footage when they went to Thailand and she tried to crawl in the boat, and she was smaller then. And look how much trouble that she's having getting into this boat. Imagine how she would fare now. She had to have help getting in the boat. And she's gained more weight. So does anybody think she'd be a fun travel partner? I don't think she would be. I think she'd have a lot of problems. Okay, so that's it for the recap. Hope you guys have enjoyed. I'm going to go ahead and post this to YouTube. Hope you guys enjoy the night, and thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And also don't forget to take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.